So we are currently looking at pump chart. Now pump is in this massive falling wedge on the daily pattern, and falling wedge is generally a bullish pattern, and it is currently breaking out of this on a daily time frame. So this is an important alert right now and a good trading opportunity if we want to catch a breakout trade. Let me just zoom in and show you on the daily chart. Now we are currently looking at a daily chart, and as you can clearly see, this is currently breaking out. So if you want to catch a breakout trade, then this is a good opportunity. And I'll give you a clear trade setup with a clear stop loss. So if anybody wants to trade, they can. The most important price to hold right now on the daily time frame after this breakout would be at 0.0015. As long as it is holding this zone on the daily time frame, it is most likely to go higher and this breakout will be in play. So what will be the potential targets if this breakout is successful? The first target that I see as a swing play is this zone, which is at around 0.002. And if we get some good parabolic market, in the altcoin section, then we can also go and tag this zone, which is ideally the breakout trade. So if a falling wedge is breaking out, then technically it should go to the highest point of the wedge, which is currently at around 0.0035. So there are two uh, take profit zones. If you want to be conservative, then you buy this breakout on the daily time frame. So a spot trade, I think, would be much better if you can't handle leverage, then it will be a peace of mind to have a spot back. The first potential target is around 43% from the current price, and the take profit two, which is the top end of these falling wedge, is at around 115%. So a good risk to reward ratio, because the stop loss, in case if we hit our stop loss, it is not less than 7%. So risking 7% of your uh, trading capital for this trade. I don't want you to go all in on it. So risking 7% and then achieving 40% and 100% potential possibility or probability is a good risk to reward in my opinion. So a good swing trade can be played on this chart of pump. So the next chart we are looking at is NVDA. Now this is an NVIDIA stock, and you can trade it as a tokenized stock on MEXC as well as VIX exchange. Now currently NVIDIA is in this rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. But as long as this wedge is holding or this support is holding, it is still in an uptrend, and there is a good trading opportunity even on this chart, because if you look at this, then it is currently above previous resistance, which is still now holding as support. Also, it is on the support of this wedge. So if it gets another round of push higher, then this is again a good risk to reward trade in my opinion. So you can trade it on leverage, on small leverage, on big leverage, depending on your risk appetite, or you can also trade it on spot. So as long as NVIDIA is holding this zone of around $190, it is more likely to go higher than lower. And if you look at the potential trade again, potential profit, then if it goes to all the way to the upper band of the wedge, then it is 22% move. Even if it goes 50% over this zone, which is again a 10 to 12% move, till the mid range, or you can say midway of this wedge. So again, a good risk to reward in my opinion, with a 10% and 20% potential gains. And if you look at the risk or the stop loss is less than 2.5 to let's see 3%, if you even put a deeper stop loss, then this is a good risk to reward. If you want to look for a long trade, then Nvidia is also a good opportunity. So I had already shared this PYTH trade on this show 4 days ago, and it is currently bouncing from our support zone. This is still an opportunity if you want to take a breakout spot. If you want to play a breakout spot trade, then this is still a good risk to reward, and I'll show you Y, then it's upon you whether you want to take this trade or not. But again, these are the targets that I had shared 4 days ago. And if you see, even from the current price, then the potential gain is still 42% is target one and 90% is target two. And now your stop loss would be over here, the recent low. This is your clear stop loss. Any acceptance below this price, which is at around 36 cents, is your stop loss. So the stop loss is slightly deeper. If you want to keep it tight, you can keep your stop loss over here also, that this is a failed breakout. But since it is crypto, and let's say even if Bitcoin corrects, then alts generally correct in the short term. But if you want to keep a conservative stop loss, then that is below 40 cents. But there is also an opportunity, something like this can also happen. But overall, as long as 36-cent region is holding as support, I see this as a breakout trade and a good spot trade, in my opinion. If you can manage the risk, stop loss, as I told you, is slightly deeper. It is close to 15 to 20%. In fact, let me just check. From the current price, the stop loss is almost 15%. So you risk 15% if there is yeah, our stop loss hits, and the potential gain is obviously it is 3 times your risk. So reward is still better. It is almost 40%, and the next gain is 90%, which is almost 6 times your risk. So if you rise like this risk reward play, this is still a buy zone in my opinion. Conservative stop loss is 40 cents, but overall, I think the stop loss, if you can manage, should be 36 cents. And until then, this is more likely to go higher rather than lower.